Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. If you just bear with me just a moment, I'm just going to double check that the sound is coming through. Yeah, I can hear the sound on that stream, and I just want to check this one as well. Yep, okay, so the sound's definitely coming through. That's good. This is just some artwork we did before with alcohol markers. I'll just show you a few of the others. If you're new, welcome to the live stream. So this is Clayton Art Club in Bradford, and we do a live stream every Monday. I'm aware that my chair is wobbling the camera slightly, so I do apologise for that. I will try and keep it steady when we start. If you're new, feel free to say hello in the comments. If you've been before, also feel free to say hello in the comments. We normally do this for about an hour, so 10 till 11, but we normally run over a little bit if I just want to finish off the artwork. And at the moment we're doing a lot of alcohol markers, but you can follow along with whatever you've got: felt tips, crayons, pens, whatever. Hopefully you'll pick up some principles on how to draw. These are just some of the drawings we've done over the past live streams. This is the one we did last week, which was just a random idea. I do also take suggestions from you guys, so if you have a favourite character or you want me to show you how to draw a specific thing, then feel free to tell me and I will try and draw that. Again, feel free to chat away in the comments. I can see the comments, so I will answer your questions if you have them, or take your suggestions into consideration, like, oh, I want a green crocodile, not a blue crocodile, or blah blah blah, or sometimes when I'm drawing dinosaurs for Matthew or other people, I need to look up what that particular dinosaur looks like, because I'm not savvy with all the dinosaurs, so I do have reference which is above us. So anyway, feel free, say hello in the comments, tell me who's here. I can see 4 people are watching on Facebook, and I think 1 person's watching on YouTube, but it might be me monitoring the stream on my computer. So yeah, so we're going to start with a blank piece of paper, and we're going to do kind of comic style art, so kind of superheroes or something like that. Again, I'm happy to draw something that you want me to draw, so feel free to say what you would like, and I will obviously try and draw what you'd rather. It's just chucking my light source all over the place, as you do. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to tell me and I will do my best. Depending on how ambitious our first drawing is, we might have time for a second as well. I'm just showing you, this is my little pencil tin, and this is my little light source, and it's got a magnet on the bottom, so I can just position it wherever I want, so we can get some nice shadows off and not on the paper. So that's pretty handy. If you can hear me as well, it'd be helpful if you could tell me. I'm assuming the sound is okay so far. Okay, where are we at? So no one's commented yet, but I can see some people are watching, so if you don't want to comment, that's fine. Also, it's not coming in flickery as well, that's good. Okay. Just rearranging my screen so I can see things, sorry. We will start momentarily. So I don't know if you know who this character is. You might not recognise him. This is something that I used to read as a kid, comic-wise. So I'm just starting with kind of his overall shape. And because he's quite stylized, I don't want to do too many construction lines, but I often start drawing in pencil and then I move over to a black pen. I then, at the moment I'm using alcohol pens, which are like these. And they're very nice for blending colours and things. And then I go back over the top sometimes with a nice white pen. So there you go. Not sure why, but my stream seems to be a bit... It seems to pause when I do it on Facebook. I don't know if it pauses for anyone else. Just want to make sure it's working proper. So any guesses on what this character could be? Probably not drawn the best, but never mind. Little curl for his neck. I'm just going to draw some kind of collar. Has anyone guessed it yet? I don't know. I've also realised I've drawn him quite narrow, but never mind. And I need the rest of his shoulder. So I'm just starting off with a HB pencil, which is if you bought an unbranded pencil, like a normal pencil, there'd normally be a HB. That's like the run-of-the-mill between hardness and softness. But then you can get softer pencils like the 4B, and you can get harder pencils which are like the H2. So you can choose how hard or soft you want your drawings to be. So if you're shading, you probably want a B. If you want a this is not quite looking how he looks, but never mind. Obviously you can draw any character. So now we're going to just go over the top with our black pen. I don't know if you've guessed who this is, but actually going to draw this ear a little bit bigger, I think. And hopefully the alcohol markers Right, let's get some colours on the go. So with alcohol markers, they kind of dry a slightly different colour. My voice is going funny. I did have the other sheet as well, it's here. So what I've got is some paper that I've drawn on each of the coding for the alcohol marker, so I can see what the actual colour looks like when it's dry. So I can almost get an exact match on the colours that I want. So I kind of want this colour for the hair, but kind of slightly lighter. So I'm kind of thinking this colour, which is a Y2. So that's this one. And when you put it on the paper, it's quite a lot darker because there's obviously alcohol in it. But as that kind of dries, it does go lighter. And a little bit behind his ear. And then I'll keep that out. And I want his shirt to be an even lighter shade, so this is a Y2. Hi Nick. Just bring that comment up. With the powers of YOLO Box, can bring comments to the front. How you doing, Nick? I hope you're doing well. Have you guessed who we're drawing today? Oops. I just used the wrong yellow, but never mind. So I'm using the darker shade that I used for the hair, just to emphasize where the shadows would be on his clothes. And I think behind his ears, yep. And I want something for the colour of his skin, so I'm thinking rose beige, so that's BR3. There we go. Oh, I'm finding them easily today. Sometimes I can spend ages looking for them. So these pens, the black pens, good thanks, Facebook wouldn't show me your live feed. Oh, is it not working? Is it working now? Or I mean, I'm seeing your comments. This is the comment just coming through from Nick. She says, Facebook wouldn't show me your live feed. I'm confused. I mean, is it working now, or is it just... It's saying that it's coming through alright on here. I'm watching it myself, and I'm using a separate internet source, so I'm not sure why it's not working. So you see these areas here where they're kind of overlapping, because it's going to dry, because it's alcohol markers, that does disappear. But you can just so I want to put a slight bit of cheek flush on here, so I'm probably going to use this colour, which is the R12. So I think if you ever get some of these pens, God, it's come out a bit too much, I think. I regret that, I think. I'm going to have to dampen that with some more of the other colour, just to soften the edges. Maybe it's on my phone, it sometimes happens. Yes, but wouldn't initially. Okay, so these are the comments. Okay, as long as it's working now, hopefully people can see it. So as you see, I put a bit more of the original skin colour around the edge of that rose. It's kind of dampened it a bit. I mean, it does look like a blister at the moment, unfortunately. I mean, this pad isn't necessarily the best paper. Let me just have a look underneath. Yeah, it's soaking through a little bit. But yeah, it's getting there. I think when that dries out, it will look like what it's supposed to look like. I'm guessing you guys recognise who it is. My good old friend Tintin. So yeah, I really like these pens. They're quite vivid. They just bring out your colours really quickly, so they are good. Let me just check, see if I'm assuming people can see it. I'm slightly worried now. I'm aware the colours are banding a little bit, which is disturbing me a bit. Is that better? Oh, hello. That's not good. I'm trying to get rid of that wobbly stuff. Is that better? Well, that looks better. Right, let's see if the colour... Right, I think it's the torch that's creating that... It's the torch that's making that wobbly effect that's irritating. So I do apologise for that. Okay, just a bit darker now, so I do apologise. Oh, and I'm wobbling my camera as well. I do have a coffee, so I will wake up. Let me just reorientate my camera. Right, who's texting me? There we go. Right, so what's your favourite character, cartoony style guy? If you have anything you particularly you like or you want, feel free to tell me and we'll have a go at drawing it. So we've done Tintin, which is one of my old favourites, but we can draw something else. Excuse me. If not, I'll have to draw something that I want to draw. So when you're drawing comics as well, you often want to think about layout. So if you was drawing a comic, you'd want to figure out a little tip if you're wanting to draw specific comics is, and this is just a mini example, is you often want the first frame, if you're starting the comic, at the beginning. I mean, later as you get on, it's not so important, but often when you're setting a scene, it's a bit like when you do this with filming and editing, if you've ever done that, which I don't know if you have. But the first frame, depending on how you're laying out your frames in a comic, this is just generic, you can do it more fancy than this. The first frame is normally setting the scene, so this might be a wide shot, this might be showing your character in their environment, and then as you progress through the story, if they're having dialogue, you might want to do some close-ups of the face. If they've got some actions happening, then those happen. But often you want to tell the audience that are looking at your comic in the first frame what is happening, where the character is, or if you're trying to lead them on a bit, you may reveal that in the second one. So you may if you imagine, like in a story, you might have a close-up of their face and then zoom out and show them in a place that you weren't expecting. So the scene, the place where they're set, is normally in one of the first two, and then you need some kind of situation that shows what they're doing. So if they're like a superhero, they might start the story saving someone just to show that they're heroic. You're telling the audience about your character. If it's a brand new character that they don't know, they might not know if it's a villain or a hero. So you're either introducing the hero or the villain if you're doing a superhero story, or you might be explaining the peril. So if it was a space story, it might be a ship under attack or something. And that's normally how you start a story. You put your characters you create a situation and you put your characters in, and then you tell the people what happens. That's the gist of a story. And then as you keep going, you can tell the rest of the story. So that is the gist of how I would start a comic, how I would think about starting a comic. And I would often draw the different frames separately or plan them out like this, and then arrange them better when I wanted to decide what I wanted where I wanted the story to go. Like you might think, oh well, that could go there and this could go there and stuff. So that's the gist of how I would set up a comic. We could do a quick one now if you want, or if you would rather I just drew something in a comic style, please let me know. If you're having any problems with the stream, please tell me ASAP so I can fix them. We've had more problems in the past, but today, touch wood, seems okay. So okay, I'm just gonna, until you guys suggest maybe something, I will just start a little comic with a little man just to show you the gist of the story. So okay, so I'm going to set the scene, and I think the scene is going to be a mountain, something like this. And this is kind of like my rough drawing, and then on top of it you can then start drawing it on a full page of paper. This is just, if you draw it small, it's designed to be kind of rough, and you know, you're not drawing the details, you're just composing the picture if you want. So this is a mountain range, snowy mountain range, and there's a little man in the picture. I don't know if you can see that. So already I'm telling you that there's a man, he's on foot, and there's lots of snowy mountains. So your brain is probably thinking, okay, what's his story? Is he a hiker? Is he lost? He's all on his own. There's mountains, there's snow, it's cold. Okay, so I've told you already, I've told you roughly where this story is going to be about. So the second frame is going to tell you even more about this situation. So I'm going to really show you the steepness of the mountains and show you the character, and he's going to be huddling himself because he's cold. Wearing a hood because it's cold. And right now I could tell you a lot more about this story. I could tell you if he's wearing proper hiking gear, then it looks like he's there on purpose. Or if he's not wearing hiking gear, then he could have been in a plane crash and he doesn't have the right gear to stay alive at the top of a mountain. Just with what he's got on him, I can tell you something about why he's there maybe. So he's got some binoculars around his neck, so he might be looking for something, you never know. So already with 2 frames I've told you about my story. I've told you where it's happening, Snowy Mountains. I've told you that there's a guy or a girl, you can't really see at the moment, except that he's got a fringe, so you never know. He looks kind of well equipped, so he looks like he's there on purpose. He's got a hood, he's got binoculars, so he's obviously looking for something. Could be a bird watcher, or he could be looking for something like a crash site. He could be hunting. If he was hunting, he'd probably have a gun or bows and arrows, depending on what time setting you were having it in. So already with 2 frames I've told you a lot of the story. So now I probably want to show you a bit more of the situation. So it doesn't look that cold yet, so what I want to do is show you that it's really cold and he is trudging through the snow. So I'm going to draw his hood, little guy here. I was going to draw the wind just to show that it's very cold. And at this point you might want to, I'm going to emphasize his binoculars. And he's going to have a backpack. And he's going to have quite a big backpack with some camping stuff, just to suggest that he's really far away from everyone else. Might add a few trees in here and there just to, you know, he's not stupidly high up where there's no trees. Just so hopefully from that you're getting a feeling of where the character is. So I might just add a little speech bubble now. And like, I'm feeling how this story's coming on. Like, I don't have a pre-agenda massively. I'm just trying to set the scene at the moment. So even just that little speech bubble has conveyed to you, just with the simple word that he's cold. Just aware the comments have gone a bit quiet. I'm just checking you guys are still here and you can still see it and hear it. Let me just check. Everything going all right on here? Yeah, I think so. Oh, getting some love hearts, that's nice. So I'm going to do a shot from behind. And he's going to be holding up, he's going to have mittens on because it's cold, and he's going to be looking through his binoculars. The binoculars have a nice cable thing to go around his neck. So hopefully that looks like a guy looking through his binoculars. So what have we learnt so far? He's somewhere cold. He looks like a hiker. Looks like he's got camping equipment with him, so he's been there for a few days. He's cold. He's obviously looking for something. Gonna draw the cold breath on his lips. So he's looking for something. And I think he's gonna give up and put his bag down and pitch his tent. Now, I don't know what a proper snow kind of tent looks like, so I'm just going to draw a generic one. And the story's going to go that he is going to make a little campfire. And he's just gonna be cooking a sausage, I think. I don't like that muggins behind, but never mind. So I don't know if I need to put a transition between here with some words. So he's in the snow, he's walking around with he's clearly a camper, he's cold, he's looking for something, he's decided to make base camp. Maybe it's turned to night time, so let's have the mountains in the background. Let's and let's just have some smoke going up. And some trees in the foreground. How are we doing, everyone? Is everyone still here? So the gist of this story is maybe the sun's going down. Then I'm drawing the tent again. Fire's kind of gone out. And I'm gonna oh, hey Matthew. And there's some Z's coming from there. And then we'll just draw Bigfoot. See, the funny thing is he's gone looking for Bigfoot. When he goes to bed, Bigfoot finds him, and that's the joke. That's the kind of the short of it. So I'm just going to quickly go over this and fill it in comic style. So this is a very small one. I'd normally do one a bit bigger. Oh, chair's decided to. There we go. So this would normally be a plan. I would stop here now, and normally I would draw it a bit bigger. But just for completion's sake, I'm going to fill this out and colour it in, make it look all nice. Still going to be quite basic, but I'm just using the pen to decide which features from my pencil drawing I'm going to keep and which ones I'm not going to keep. And I think when I add a bit of colour, this will hopefully look a little bit better. You'd be able to see some of the details. Obviously at the end of the live stream on Clayton Art Club Facebook page, I will post the pictures a bit bigger. So I'm going to elaborate on this drawing now that I'm drawing in pen. So I'm drawing some more of his camping equipment. Emphasize the key feature, which is binoculars. So this isn't going to be Tintin, this is another character. Oh, what's happened here? Live stream's gone funny? Sorry. I realise I'm covering the live stream with my thingy as well, which is not good. So keeping that trees in there, and this is just the wind. Brrr. And sometimes the simplest dialogue is actually sometimes the best. Are we working again? Are we working again? It looks like we're back on. I do apologise for that. We are live again. I think. I hope. Oh, come on. Right. Right, sorry about that, guys. I was just messaging the guys that were watching. Hopefully they can see it. I do not know what happened then, because it said... Anyway, let's get on with this before it stops working again. So I'm just... Yeah, I think it's working. And then just drawing a little fire. And he's just sat on there's his smoke. Moons come up. I'll draw the stars with the white pen in a minute, I think. Are we all still live? Yep, still live. Again, apologies for annoying technology. It's starting to speed up. I'm worried that this live stream is going to blob out on me again. So hey. Sorry if you can't see. Mountains in the background. And I've decided to draw the Yeti toasting a marshmallow on the guy's fire while he's asleep, just for hilarity. Right, I'll move the camera down a bit so you can see. Again, sorry for the technical annoyances, it's very annoying. So I'm just going to add some quick colour here. So I'm just going to use the black just to do the skies first. There we go. You get a very dark grey for the sky. To show it's getting darker. And then choose a lighter grey. I'm going to mix this with blue in a minute just to so adding just a little bit of blue here and there just to we get a slightly darker blue, so you can just see that the shades are getting darker. Because I'm using the same blue but going over the this colour. Gives a darker effect. Just going to go over the edges with a bit of blue. So as you can see, the progression is now going, oops, sorry about jogging the camera. He's going from light to dark. So I think I'm going to choose the colour of the guy. So I think he's going to be wearing Arctic colours, which are orange, or you know, Himalayas kind of, they often wear orange because it's a bright colour that you don't really find in nature, so it's very easy to see. It also, for me, it makes them so I can tell you exactly where the character is in the shot. So here he is. Now I need a colour for the tent. So I think I'm going to do the trees green, so I think I will do, I think, a turquoise tent. Which means I'm going to have the tent roll in the same colour, so it's obvious. And I'm going to have the bedroll the same colour. And almost, if I leave the base white, it will look like snow anyway. How are we doing? Stream still going good? I hope. Gonna get some nice dark evergreens just to tell you what those things are. I'll get some browns for them woods in a minute. Bracken there, I don't know. I'll colour those trees in a bit as well. Just check the comments. Yep, comments are coming through. And sometimes if you just start filling in the colours, it starts making a lot more sense. Looking at a comic from a distance, you know, that kind of thing. Bit of wood. I'm going to do a kind of fluffy yellow for his collars and stuff. And you can just fill in the other bits with some yellow. Then I just want a bit of colour for the fire. Maybe a bit of red. I think I need a lighter red for this. So let's have this one. And let's have a nice rosy skin because he's cold. I'm going to give the Yeti some skin parts as well. And I'm just going to add a load of grey. And the grey, what I'm going to do is use the grey to break up the landscape. And I'm going to give him grey underclothes as well. I'm just going to use it to add some definition to the different areas. Add a bit of shadow around here because it is night time now. Just adding it a bit loosely, really. Something like that. A bit more here, I think. Kind of want to emphasize that this is his little base camp. I need a little grey here as well. A bit around the fire. Illuminate the smoke. So, kind of want to come back with some white. I'm gonna add some stars. Make sure the moon's nice and bright. And I'm just adding different bits of white to the guy just to break down, to make him look cold. Bits of snow, bits of whatever. And what I might do is just add a little bit of yellow, just escaping over the mountains as the sun sets. Just a little bit, just to show that it was sunny and now it's cold. Almost like the sun's gone down kind of thing. That's the gist. A little bit of red, orange, not too much. Just a little bit here and there. I'm going to make the moon little bit of light here and there. You just add crazy amount of light, I guess. And bit of dark in the foreground. Bit of yellow on the horizon. And I'm almost there, I think. And that's just a quick plan of a bigger one. So obviously you could do a bigger one. I'll hold it a bit closer. Try and keep it in focus if I can. Yeah. Where's that focus thing? This one. Let's have a look. Yeah, so this is the story a bit closer. Let's refocus. Okay, cool. So that's the gist of how I would start doing a comic. You could add a few more words, but less is more, I think. I'm just going to add some brown hair because why not? So that's the gist of doing a comic, really. You can plan them out like this. You don't have to colour them in like this, but just filling in the horizons, points, already starts piecing together the pieces. And for me, I changed from the light to the dark, so he's getting towards night time. He's obviously looking for something. I think his binoculars needed to be black. So that is my how to do a quick comic, and this is your plan. Obviously you could spend a couple of hours doing a bigger one, but yeah, this is how to get on with your comic. So I'm gonna just quickly name this and then I will be calling it a day. Just to let you know that we're just going to be finishing our woodwork workshops face to face today. Then the next week I'm having off, but then I'm going to be organising some more woodworky things for people. So if you're interested in that, stay in touch. Also, we do have the animation boxes available. Nick and Matthew, I've got yours ready, so I'll give you those today. But if you're interested in one of them, let me know. They're very cool. Make a great Christmas gift. So so I'm going to call this, I'm going to do it with a calligraphy pen, I think. Search. This is not done very neatly, unfortunately. Search. Search for, it's not even Bigfoot, is it Yeti? The Yeti. And that is disgraceful handwriting, I do apologise. Search for the Yeti. Cool, I'll take a picture of that and share that on the group later. Bit different this time, not as elaborate as usual, and confined my space for a comic. One, so I could get it done in time, but two, just to show that you can plan a comic and then you could spend a lot more time making the next one a lot better. So thank you so much for joining us. Lovely to see you, Matthew and Nick, and everyone else who was watching, who or whoever's watching later, and our friends on YouTube. See you next week, 10 o'clock. Okay, take care guys. All right, bye.